Nobody told me. That's what keeps me up at night, even now. Not that I made the wrong choices, I did, but that nobody sat me down at 25 and said, "Arthur, the life you are postponing, that is the life. There is no other one." I'm 77 years old, and what I spent 52 years building, I am now sitting inside. And I can tell you with absolute certainty it is not what I thought I was building. So sit with me for a few minutes. What took me 5 decades to figure out, I'm going to try to hand you right now. Not because I think you'll listen. Lord knows I wouldn't have listened. But because someone has to say it. And I'm the one still here. Here's what you're doing right now. And I know because I did it for 30 years. You are saving your life. Like money in a bank account. You are telling yourself that you'll spend it later. Later, when the pressure's off, when the kids are grown, when you hit the number, when you finally earn some breathing room. You are very carefully, very responsibly, setting your actual life aside, keeping it safe, not touching it, waiting for the right time to start living it. You are 28, or 35, or maybe 44, and you are so busy building the future that you are not in the present at all. You are there physically. Your body shows up. But you're somewhere else. You're in the next quarter, the next milestone, the next version of yourself who will finally be ready to relax and enjoy things. And the people around you, your partner, your kids, your friends, they can feel it. They know you're not all the way there. They've stopped trying to pull you back. They've made peace with getting a portion of you. You think that's responsible. You think that's what good people do. They sacrifice now so they can give more later. I'm 77. I'm here to tell you what later looks like, and it is not what you think. In 1974, I was 26 years old, married 2 years to a woman named Eleanor. We had a daughter, Sophie, who was 14 months old. We had a second-floor apartment in Cleveland. The heat didn't work great. We had one car. I remember standing in that kitchen one morning, Sophie on Eleanor's hip, snow coming down outside, and I looked at what we had and I thought, this is the starting line. This is not the life. This is the part before the life. So I ran. Not away from them. I want to be clear about that. I love my family. Lord, I love them. I ran toward something, toward the version of us that would have more, worry less, need nothing. I thought if I could just get us to that place, then I could finally be present. Then I could finally exhale. Then we could really start. I worked construction management, moved into commercial real estate development by my early 30s. I was good at it, really good. By the time I was 40, I was pulling in more than my own father saw in a decade. We had the house in the suburbs, 2 cars, good schools for Sophie. Then for her little brother Jacob, who came along in '79. I had built the thing. And here is what I told myself all through those years. I'm doing this for them. Every late night, every missed dinner, every weekend trip I couldn't take. It was all an investment. I was depositing into an account. And one day, when the balance was right, I was going to withdraw the good life and spend it with the people I loved. I never made the withdrawal. There was always a reason. Always a deal that needed closing. A project that was behind. A problem that required me specifically. I had convinced myself I was irreplaceable, which, looking back, is one of the oldest lies a busy man tells himself. Eleanor stopped arguing with me about it around 1985. That should have scared me. It didn't. I read it as acceptance, as her understanding, finally, how important the work was. I was wrong. She hadn't accepted it. She had just gotten tired. Tired of asking for a husband who was always half somewhere else. She had quietly, without telling me, stopped expecting me to show up. She told me this much later. Said there was a night. Sophie was maybe 9, Jacob was 5. She'd made a big Sunday dinner, pot roast, the whole thing. She'd lit candles. The kids had drawn little place cards. She'd been planning it all week, some attempt to pull us all together. I called at 4:30 and said I was stuck at the office. I'd be home by 8. She put the candles out, served the kids, put my plate in the refrigerator. And she said that was the night she stopped making plans that included me. I ate that pot roast cold, alone, at the kitchen counter at 8:45. I thought nothing of it. She didn't leave me. I want you to understand that. Eleanor was not a woman who quit. We stayed married. We raised the kids. We built a life together in the legal sense. But somewhere in that decade, somewhere between the candles she stopped lighting and the Sunday plans she stopped making, I lost something that I couldn't get back. And the worst part, I didn't even notice it was gone. I had a colleague named Mark Thompson. Mark was my age, same industry, good man. But Mark made a decision early that I privately thought was soft. He kept his hours short, left by 5:30, almost without exception. Took 2 weeks of real vacation every summer. Coached his son's Little League team for 6 years straight. We used to joke, kindly I thought, that Mark wasn't serious about the business. Mark retired at 62. I worked until 68. When I finally stopped, I went home to a house where my children were grown and politely distant, and a wife who was kind to me the way you're kind to a roommate you've made peace with. Mark went home to a family that had spent 35 years knowing him, knowing the actual man, not the provider, him. I ran into Mark about 4 years ago, both of us old men by then. He was at a farmer's market with his daughter and 2 of his grandkids, and he was laughing at something one of the little ones had said, and he had this look on his face, easy, full, like a man with nothing unfinished, and I had to walk away. I couldn't explain it at the time. I understand it now. He hadn't saved his life up. He'd spent it on purpose, in real time, on the people in front of him. And he was rich in a way I had not figured out how to be. Here's what nobody tells you about the savings account theory of life. The account doesn't wait for you. You think you're depositing time, that all those hours you put into the work are being held somewhere, and when you're ready, you'll take them back and spend them differently. But that's not how time works. Those hours are spent the moment they pass. They don't accumulate. They don't sit in a vault earning interest. They are gone, permanently. And what you bought with them is whatever was in front of you when you spent them. I spent mine at a desk. The thing I finally understood, and this took me until I was past 70 to really feel it, not just know it, is that presence is not a reward you earn by working hard enough. It is not something you get to graduate into. It is a practice, every single day. And every day you don't practice it, something in the people around you adjusts, quietly, without drama. They stop expecting you and start not needing you. Those are 2 very different things. And once someone has stopped needing you, you cannot call that back. You don't get a balance. You just get what you chose. I'm 77. Most of the men I came up with are in their late 70s or gone already. And I've noticed something you can't miss at this age, when everything is stripped back to what it actually was. There's a man I know, Leonard, 81, made more money than anyone in our circle. 2 companies, a name on a building at his alma mater. He lives alone now. His second wife left him in his 60s. His kids call on birthdays, Christmas, polite calls, short calls. He fills his days with financial news and golf, and he talks about his business deals from 30 years ago, the way some men talk about a war they fought in. It's the only story he has. He is not a bad man. He is a man who poured everything into one place and now lives inside the echo of it. Then there's Stanley. Stanley, 79, spent his career as a high school shop teacher. Drives a truck that's older than some of my grandchildren. His house is small. His savings would not impress anyone. But his daughter calls him every single day. His son lives 20 minutes away and stops in for no reason twice a week. His grandchildren know his stories, know his laugh, know exactly how he takes his coffee. When Stanley walks into a room, people move toward him. You know what that is? That is a man who was present. Consistently, reliably, over decades, present. And what he has now is not money. It's roots, real ones. And nothing in the world, nothing I built, nothing I earned, is worth more than what Stanley has. I watch those two men become who they are. I watch the choices compound. And I'll be honest with you. I am somewhere in between them, closer to Leonard than I'd like to admit. I have more than Leonard's loneliness, but I don't have Stanley's roots. And I know exactly why. So here's what I want you to do. Not philosophy, actual things. First, stop treating your presence like overtime pay. You don't give it out as a bonus when everything else is handled. You put it in the budget. Non-negotiable. Tuesday nights, Sunday mornings, whatever it is, you protect that time the same way you protect your most important meeting, because it is your most important meeting. And unlike the deal that can be rescheduled, the version of your kid who is 7 years old right now cannot be rescheduled. That window closes. You weren't there? It closes without you. Second, stop performing love through providing. I know this one cuts. It cut me. But buying the thing, paying for the thing, upgrading the thing, that is not the same as showing up. The people in your house do not need a better version of the house. They need a fuller version of you. Stop hiding behind your generosity. It's a comfortable place to hide, but it is hiding. Third, ask the question I never asked. Tonight, look at the person who shares your life and ask them, is there something I've been missing? Something you've needed that I haven't been seeing? Then close your mouth and actually listen. Not to respond, not to defend, to hear. This will be uncomfortable. Do it anyway. You may not like what you hear. You need to hear it at 35 infinitely more than I needed to hear it at 65. Fourth, understand that the account runs out. You don't know when. I don't know when. But one day you will wake up and the children will be grown, and the choices will have been made, and the ledger will be what it is. You want to spend those years in the fullness of what you built, not standing outside a warmth you could have been part of, but were always too busy to enter. The life you are saving up for is happening right now. Spend it. I'm tired. Talking takes something out of you at this age. Not bad tired, just the kind of tired that comes from meaning it. Eleanor and I are okay. Better than okay, actually, in the way that two people who've been through the fire together and chosen to stay can be okay. It's not the marriage we should have had at 40, but it's real. And these last few years I've been spending the account. Slowly. Whatever's left. I show up. I sit down. I listen. I'm a slower learner than I'd like to be, but I'm still learning. If this landed somewhere in you, share it with someone you know who's running the same race I ran. The one where you're always almost there. They won't want to hear it. Share it anyway. That's what I wish someone had done for me. And tell me in the comments, what's the thing you keep saying you'll do when things settle down? I read every one. And if you want more of these conversations, subscribe. There's a few more things I need to say before I'm done. Now go home. And when you get there, actually go home.